Good morning, good morning, good morning, you lovely lot. Sorry, the camera's on the wonk. It's the only place I could find to put it. I've forgotten to bring my makeup with me. So I'm going au naturel today. Nothing for the eyes, to be fair. It's only the eyes I ever put it on. It's 9:30. Had a good night's sleep. It has rained a lot. It's meant to be sunny, but it's still raining. It's very nice to listen to the rain when I'm in Spog. Unfortunately, I'm under an oak tree, and I think it was an oak tree. Yeah, I think it's an oak tree. And I keep hearing things falling on the roof. Every now and then it's more than water. It's like a branch or something. But I'm still okay. I've not been squashed by any big lumps falling off, so it's not windy. It's just the weight of the rain. Anyway, we're going for breakfast. Tink and Sharon they've just messaged and said they're sat in the car, and I can see the lights on actually in the car. We're going to go for breakfast, but we're going to drive because it's chucking it down. And then Tink and I are going off to, we're going to a museum. I think I said this, did I say this yesterday? I don't know where I am in the vlog. This is a problem because I'm mixing my days up. But if I didn't say, we're heading off to an aviation museum. Because we're near Farnborough, and Farnborough has huge aviation history. History is the word I was looking for. My brain hasn't woken up yet. More caffeine is required. So I'm going to finish this tea, and then I'm going to jump out of the van, get in the car, and go and have some breakfast. I'm still quite full from the amount of food I ate yesterday. So I don't know, I was going to have a fry up, but I'm thinking maybe something like a bacon sandwich might be the way forwards this morning. Right, let's go see some helicopters, planes. It's a lot of RAF stuff as well, because this area is very MOD, so yeah, there'll be all sorts. Okay, I'm going to take this no, I'm not going to take this with me now. Yes I am, because I'm not going to come back into the van. So I'm going to take this with me now, and then, because I've got a lot to film today. Right, see you in a bit.
It's better to have more bonds than less bonds.
Yeah, I am some of that. More bonds than less bonds.
Yeah, because you get chances of winning.
Yeah, I'm not going to get millions of bonds, but I'm thinking of bonds. Oh look, it's got little, what are all the birds on it for? Is that just part of its badge?
But normally markings like that are a number of things you've shot down, but it's a drone. So
it's a drone.
Maybe
so it's not...
times it got shot down. It's a Phoenix, that could be the number of times it was rebuilt and put back into
yeah.
Because its idea is you fly it around and use it to shoot, be shot at by other aircraft. It's a targeting drone.
This would be finding the locations, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, they will fly this around, and then other aircraft will then target it and shoot it to practice shooting aircraft without having shooting aircraft.
Right, okay, so
it's unmanned.
It's a practice thing, yeah, as opposed to
like modern drones that drop bombs and fly missiles. This one is literally a target to shoot at.
It's a moving target.
Yeah.
Yeah, high-speed target to assist in the development of guided missiles and rockets. I see. Yeah.
And I'm going to guess that's the number of times it's risen from the flames, because it looks like a phoenix.
Well, they do look like phoenixes, don't they?
The number of times it got shot down.
Yeah, and now it's having a rest here at the museum. A Puma. A Puma. It's a big helicopter, that one, isn't it? It looks like it's got like a submarine shape to it. God, the propellers are huge. I always find helicopters are bigger than you think they're going to be. We'll sit here. Get a bit of info for those that like to look at the info. Oh, so this helicopter first flew on the 20th of July 1968. This specific one, or this type? This helicopter.
Yeah.
It's a Red Arrow. Hawk Hunter. An official Red Arrow that would have had plumes of red smoke coming out the back.
I don't think it was used by them, but this is what the Red Arrows used to fly.
Oh, okay. So this is the plane that they, the type of plane they used to use.
Oh.
What does it say?
It says it was damaged in a wheels-up landing in 1956.
A wheels-up landing, so basically it bellied up.
It landed in its belly.
Was repaired.
Yeah.
Oh, so it has a TV camera in the nose to investigate the feasibility of pilots flying using a TV image of the outside world. Oh, so this was...
So black cockpit, effectively, so you only see through the camera at the front. That
must feel really scary, actually. And that's like a computer game as opposed to real life. I'd want to see out the window, I think.
The work that was done at Farnborough would be experimental stuff on aircraft design and concepts. So quite a lot of these aircraft probably would have been test aircraft for various ideas that the Boffins had. That
they might not have necessarily continued with.
Yeah.
1975, it was also using low light TV cameras, continued night vision trials into the 80s, using the infrared and night vision goggles. So the pilots would have had night vision goggles, is that what they're saying?
Yeah, flying using
so they could have flown in the dark and nobody would have seen them. The Lady of the Night. I like that nickname. I don't know why I'm finding this so funny, but it's got windscreen wipers on it. And I just don't think about planes having a windscreen wiper. Well, firstly, I know if it rains you want to be able to see where you're going. But secondly, I just imagine those things would get ripped off as it's flying through the sky. But clearly not. I guess all that's been tested. I just didn't expect to see windscreen wipers. It's also got it's got strips in it, hasn't it?
Yep, it's heated windscreens.
So it's got heated windscreens. So it doesn't need the windscreen wipers. It will just... Surely the air will just blow all the wet off of it.
I think the windscreen wipers are probably more for taxiing than they are.
Oh, okay. Not for while they're flying.
Not when they're doing 300 miles an hour.
Yeah. So here we are, look. You see that this is why they're so pointless, those windscreen wipers. It's got here automatic blind landing system. You don't need to see where you're going. I don't know a lot about planes, but I know about the Harrier jump jets. Because I think they just go up like that, don't they?
Yeah,
they just like
take off these
like helicopters
fans
do.
On the side, they rotate down and they thrust downwards, allowing the aircraft to raise up.
Oh, so that twists.
That twists, yeah, and then you'll see the black lines. That's the angles
Yeah.
it can go at. So facing straight down, front and back, it'll push the aircraft up, and then it'll slowly start to rotate it.
To
and
move
that'll give
it.
the aircraft forward motion, and then once it's got enough forward motion for the wings to provide lift, they'll go fully back and then propel itself.
So why don't more planes do that?
I don't know. The new F-35 does it. It does a slightly different method, but
Because you'd need less space. You wouldn't need such a big runway.
More moving parts, there's more things to go wrong.
Yeah, I guess. Tink's just pointed this bit out to me here. These are, I guess that's why it's called a Lynx then if it's super fast. It's the it set the airspeed record for helicopters. Look how fast it went, and that was last year, so quite recent. For 249 miles an hour, that is quite fast, I have to say. I want to know what the G-forces would be for that. I've got the theme tune to, is it Airwolf going through? Do 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 do. That's just popped into my head randomly.
Yeah, 1936.
1936, first jet engine, and it worked.
Yes, I'll say it was one of the first.
One
ones.
of
It was
the
probably
first.
like
This might not have been the actual
early
one.
prototypes, but this is one of the first ones. Up to that point, they had combustion engines, but there's a limit to how fast you can run a combustion engine and the power output. So if you want to go faster, you need to generate more energy.
That's where the jet bit comes
So the
in.
jet steps you up a notch.
That's not going very clear, unfortunately. Oh, to be fair, that's not very clear, is it? Oh, you've got the little engine on it.
Yeah.
So this is the plane we're going to go and see in the
Cody
hangar,
Flyer,
Cody Flyer.
the first ever heavy then.
Oops.
Aeroplane to fly in the UK.
We can go and see Is it what's left of? 'Cause
No, it's a replica.
Oh, it is a replica
Yeah,
of.
based off of photographs and information they had from the original.
Cool.
We've got a replica of it.
It's 110 years old, did you say that is? Yeah. That is an actual wing from the Cody Flyer. You've still got bits of the fabric as well,
Yes.
preserved.
To protect it.
Footage there of Cody taking out the hangar. 1910.
Wow. You see, this whole thing just seems wrong in my eyes. Seats are not meant to go flying out of things. I know they've saved lives and everything, but... Well, just to keep you warm, that one, and then you see how it just progresses all the way down.
Getting into communications, then we gain more protection, particularly for if you're doing ejection seats. Then you
Need a bit of protection. Don't want to be landing on your head, do you?
And then you've got the development.
Oh, look at this.
Of the helmet-mounted sights and things. So
Is that like the night vision?
Yes, it is. That one was actually fitted to a Lynx helicopter with a massive turret on the front.
Oh, okay.
And the turret was steered by the head movement. So when you look to the left,
It went
saw to the
left. Oh, wow.
And that's how the Apache works now. And the Apache is close to that one, but it's not the same one. But they work with a single monocle. Although in their case, the projection goes to.
So that's all mirrors, isn't it?
Yes.
There.
Yeah. And then, although not quite in the same league in some respects, the more advanced one.
Oh,
You've
wow.
got that's not really giving you a view, but it's giving you aiming.
Okay.
So it's got an aiming mark. The helmet is measured.
That's what that bit there, the aiming bit under there.
And the other ones are various levels of protection, depending on what you're looking for. So laser protection or high altitude protection.
This one looks very funky.
Well, it's to go with it's similar. There's a suit in the corner there, and that's for very high altitude flight.
Oh, for this one?
Yeah, it's a similar sort of thing. It's an earlier version of the helmet. So
It's a spacesuit, really, isn't it?
It does look like a spacesuit, yeah.
So
you've got the oxygen and everything, is that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would not want to be in that little paper basket thing they're floating around in. Oh my God, they're not even in a basket, is it? It's just...
Yes, this is what Cody did first before he started building aeroplanes.
Oh, so before he built the aeroplane, he was building dirigibles. We've just found the castings, original castings from an early Cody aircraft. What's that? A piece of Cody's tree. What was the tree?
That's the tree he's tied his aeroplane to.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, it's the other end of the airplane.
Oh, so he used to tie his aeroplane up so it didn't wander off, yeah? Get nicked.
It's a big sail, basically, isn't it?
Blow away.
Get pushed away. When it wasn't in the shed.
Oh, he's got his pocketbook here as well. They had such nice writing back in the day, didn't they? What's that? First bit of the fabric for the wing.
Yes, it's a bit of the original plane wing fabric.
That's an airship, piece of airship, and a water plane. Is that bits of seaweed in it? Oh, and heather from where it fell. Like a little reconstruction of frame. What sort of wood would that be, do you think? What's light enough to use it? What does it say? Wooden framework. It doesn't actually say the wood though, does it? That's just cotton, isn't it? And that's covered in a liquid, clear toxic liquid called dope. Obviously not on it right now. What is that to make it? Oh, shrinks it and then tightens it up and makes it waterproof. They're weather resistant. So there's the canvas. That's when it's been covered in its dope, and then that's the final does feel different. Like a drum. Just seeing this fairy Rotterdine, I think that says. Rotterdine? Rotterdine? Fairy rotor. That would make more sense, wouldn't it? It looks like a prop plane and a helicopter all in one. Did that actually fly? Was that an actual thing?
They probably made a test version, I'm guessing.
I'm not quite sure how that would work. There's a lot of propellers. That feels like a lot of confusion. I'm thinking that's like an early Harrier jump jet. You know, so it's like we'll get it to go up that way and then we'll turn those off and make it go that way.
Yeah, so you can take off vertically from wherever it is starting and then again transition to forward motion with
But honestly, if someone came to me with that as an idea, I would just laugh at them and go, "You're kidding me, right?" Like some kids made that out of Lego. That doesn't look like an actual
looks
serious.
like a reject from Thunderbirds.
Yeah, yeah, it does. Well, there you go. My question is answered. It did fly. Exhaust from the tip jets, the fuel in the air.
Oh, wow, yeah.
So-
Rockets on the end of the blades
So it had rockets on the ends
of the road to the top.
of those.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's crazy.
So it's rocket powered propellers on the top.
Yeah.
Designed for intercity travel. Takeoff lift was provided by the rotor, driven by jet engines mounted on the tip of the rotors. The tip jets were fed by compressed air and fuel duct along the rotors.
So unlike a normal helicopter, which would be powered in the centre, rotating the blades around, the blades spun around by jets
On the ends, yeah.
to give you your lift, and
For
then
forward flight, the rotor auto rotated, and lift was provided by the. I'm a bit for forward flight. So how did it go forward?
well, with that, looking at that model, the propellers on the side would then start moving it forward, and as soon as it's got enough forward
on the
momentum,
wings.
Enough forward momentum, then you get lift on the wings, and you don't need the lift on the top.
You don't need those jet propelled rotors. You got it here.
So the question,
Due to the noise concerns and slow development,
Yeah,
it was cancelled.
2 pops and 4 jets. And the blasting side was all 360 around you. Yeah, I'm sure the neighbours would have complained.
I'm surprised that you even got that far, to be honest, because that to me is something like a kid makes and then goes, "Look what I've invented," and I'd have gone, "You're kidding, that's so creative." But I could never imagine it getting to this point. We've got half a Concorde here, and honestly, I didn't realise Concorde was so narrow and small. I thought it was like some big luxury thing, but it's not. It's 2 seats. That, and then there would have been another 2 seats here. We were just saying there's just no headroom. If you look at the hostess, what are they, trolley dollies? That's probably a really.
If I wanted to walk down that.
Yeah, you'd crawl to the
I'm not even
bathroom.
6 foot, and I'll have to crouch.
Yeah, and she doesn't even have a head, does she? Because there's no room for her to have a head, so she's just like got a little knobble on the top. It's for very small people. Only small people could travel on Concorde. Small rich people. Concorde simulator. So the cockpit would have been this size.
Yeah, it's this size. This is a replica. I'll see what you can
Have a go at flying
have a
Concorde.
go at flying Concorde.
Very nice. So many dials. How can you just keep tabs on that everything is where it's meant to be? Looking at that, like that would be several people's full-time jobs, I reckon, to make sure everything was where it was meant to be.
The one with the red flashing light.
Yeah, I suppose, yeah. The minute something starts flashing red, then you know it's not working anymore. Well, now we're going to go in and see the actual replica of the Cody Flyer. That is pretty big, isn't it?
Yep.
So that wing that we saw would have been that one up there?
Yeah, that's about right. Yeah, it's probably a front, either
about-
front or the. Yeah, it's definitely
Yeah,
one of the main ones.
that's about the size,
yeah,
isn't it?
Yeah, it's about one of those. Yeah, it's,
That's why it was found in a bike shop. So that original wing was in a bike shop bought by, not this one because this is a replica, but the one that we showed you before was by found in a bike shop. So a guy who owned the bike shop bought it, the original bit, and preserved it. But I think because this all looks like a bike, he probably had a similar interest, is what I'm thinking, in that sort of... Or maybe came and bought his wheels from him.
Yeah, if you look at the original footage, it seems to be very much made out of with bicycle wheels.
Bicycle spare parts, you see, so that's where the bike link comes into it. He needed extra big chains and he needed...
Big
See,
spoked wheels and spoked pulleys.
that was chains in the picture, but that's rubber...
Yeah, I think they might have done that just for the model. So.
Right.
Because it will run this, the model works, all the propellers go around and everything, but it won't fly.
You wouldn't want to try and fly it, no. Yeah, so I reckon that's why the bike shop guy had it, because there's clearly a lot of bikey type bits. And the amount of... How many of these did he make? Sorry, there's an aeroplane just landing, or... Yeah, landing, I would say.
I don't know if it's the same one and it was the...
What, or had it repaired?
He kept on fixing it, or whether he made several.
I imagine he went through quite a lot of bike parts. Cody's tree. Oh, so in the place where Cody's tree stood, they've now made a replica tree. This is where he tied his plane to, stop it flying away in the wind.
It says there he measured the thrust, so I guess he tied it to a tree and then he turned the engines on to see how much it pulled.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't just tying it to stop it blowing away then?
So you could, I guess, put some sort of strain gauge or something on the rope and find out how much pulley it had.
Yeah.
Then he knows how much pulleys
He's got
for
in his
when it's
engine.
good, to see if it can achieve lift.
Ah, so it was more than just a tree to hold it in place then. This is the aftermath of his first landing. And they say anything that you can walk away from is a successful landing. So there we go. That might not look successful in some eyes. Probably the people that built it and were like, what the hell do we do with that? I'd say that went well. And you can see here, this is where he started. He was in flight by this point. I wonder why he suddenly turned like that. Is it because he struck the ground there? It sent him round
He
here.
was probably planning on turning around and landing back near where he took off.
Yeah,
I'm guessing, 'cause
maybe.
That was just a big old field back
So he was
then.
probably turning, and that's why it hit the ground.
Yeah, it didn't have enough
Sharp
height.
turn. Another wing smashed. Crashed. And was towed.
Oh, there was cameras there. He was posing. He was coming
Oh,
around
he was
to do a
posing for the
pass
cameras,
for the
was he?
cameras. Yeah,
But he
there's
crashed
cameras here.
instead. That's why it was just off camera on that video we saw, wasn't it? It was just off camera. And there is Cody, the American Wild West entertainer who came to the UK and made aeroplanes. Here's the info of Cody's tree. I'll just scan down so you can pause it and read it. There we go. It's probably the most glam fighter pilot I ever did see there with her red lips.
She did lose a left hand at some point.
I was going to say she looks like there's something floppy going on. There's no fingers by the look of it in that glove. This is the inside of the Lynx. It is very basic in there. It's got like thermal lining or something though.
Really nice seats that they got designers in.
Yeah, well, the helicopter I was in had better seats than this. This looks like little camp seats, doesn't it?
Like a camp bed.
Yeah, like a camp bed folded up.
They look like they've been taken out in about 5 minutes.
That's probably the whole point. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So this is the Lynx, the fastest helicopter, the one that did the record. We've managed to get inside it and have a little look. Cargo release. I wouldn't want to touch anything in case I triggered something. There's like a billion buttons here and I have no idea what any of them do. I'd be scared of like touching anything and then going into free fall, or how can one person know?
Training.
Hours of
training.
Hours. Remember, these were built in the days before there were simulators. The simulators for the Harrier didn't come along until afterwards.
So you had to learn it all.
Oh yes.
Would they have had like a cockpit to learn it on, or would it have been by book?
Well, they would sit in the cockpit of a real aircraft.
Oh, I suppose, yeah.
Having read all the books and diagrams of instrument panels and
Blimey,
what
yeah.
have you.
I see. I'm a kinetic learner. Kinesthetic, is it? Like I would need to have it in front of me, not a book. But then I would never have made a
It's all
pilot.
in front of you now because everything's grouped.
Okay.
So these are flight instruments, but on the Harrier they're secondary because all the information is sent
does that
up to the
project up
head-up
here?
projected to the head-up display.
Right.
That's the fuel panel, essentially, top right there.
Okay.
Fuel, jet pipe temperature, things like that. Along there, oxygen.
Oh, that's quite important.
All your radios along there. Throttle. Nozzle lever.
What does nozzle do?
It changes the direction of the nozzle so you can
Oh,
fly
so you
forward
can go
or
upwards,
upwards
right,
or
yeah.
backwards.
Sorry, yeah.
This is your weapons setup panel here.
The ones that have got the chevron-y.
They're yellow and black. As a, it means caution. Think very carefully before you touch this switch. What the yellow and black actually denotes on this is jettison. So if the aeroplane's
Right.
in trouble, the pilot can jettison all the stores.
That's the one not
by
to
just
press,
one
right?
press. Yep.
Oh, that's not going to eject me. Where's the button that will eject me?
There isn't one.
Oh,
Underwear.
oh,
it.
that's what that is.
Again, yellow and black, caution.
Caution.
Move your right knee. Yellow and black up in the little panel up there.
Yeah.
Can you see that's fuel dump?
Oh,
Those two big switches will dump all the fuel out the aeroplane. On the back of each wing there is a tube that comes out the back and
Okay.
the fuel flows out of that. Again, yellow and black, caution.
and what's the dome in the middle here?
The dome,
Yeah.
that's a moving map display.
Okay.
Okay, and it shows the position of the aircraft as it's flying over the ground. It's like looking down on a 1 in 50,000 map with the aircraft always at the centre.
Right. That is amazing. That is so
This
cool.
is pre-GPS, so it takes no signals from outside the aircraft. But when the pilot, before the pilot takes off, he has to program that system with the exact coordinates of where the aircraft is sat on the Earth in latitude and longitude. Thereafter, the gyros and what have you will take over.
We'll do it all.
It's remarkably accurate. Its degree of inaccuracy is less than 1 mile in 250. Which, when
Blimey.
you think modern sat-navs make people turn left up
Yeah.
railway lines and
Tries to put
into
you in the
rivers,
river
it's
and-
actually not too bad.
That's impressive. What are we inside now?
This is the nose cone of a Canberra.
A Canberra. The nose. There's a big plane coming over, isn't there? There he goes. Yeah, the nose end of a Canberra. Smells unusual.
This was used for weapons trials, bombing trials.
Bombing trials. Is that why there's like
So
you were
just-
saying that there's a hole, isn't there, down there with a camera or something might have gone.
So we've got. Looks like,
Would someone have gone in there? Is that an area someone would have crawled into?
no, I think that's just a payload area. I don't think
Okay.
they would have had a person. I might be wrong. I'm not an expert on these things.
Can you imagine sitting there and looking out of that high up in the sky? That would be actually a bit freaky.
Well, in the old days, the old World War II bombers, they used to have people sat in canopies directly underneath the bottom, just surrounded by.
Those people were
Perspex.
braver than me. Much
There's,
braver.
there's 2 operators at the back, higher at the front. So
Yeah. And a lot of cables and wires that I'd be scared of accidentally knocking.
so being a
Maps, proper maps,
Yeah.
look.
well, being a test craft, it's probably got all sorts of extra cables just so they can plug the latest idea into it.
Yeah, probably. I think they might need it upholstering there. Doesn't look very comfy, does it?